Have you ever wondered how the English language became what it is today? Why are there so many strange spellings, quirky grammar rules, and words borrowed from other languages? Welcome to English Smarties, where you practice your English while exploring fascinating topics. Today, we're diving into the history of the English language. We'll explore its origins, how it evolved over the centuries, and the rich tapestry of influences that have shaped it into the global language it is today. Let's embark on a linguistic journey through time. The story of English begins with the Anglo-Saxons, who arrived in Britain around the 5th century AD. These tribes, Angles, Saxons, and Jutes, came from what is now Germany and Denmark, bringing with them their own Germanic dialects. These early settlers established what we now call Old English, which might sound completely foreign to modern English speakers today. For example, the Old English word for king was signing, and the word for woman was beef. The language had a lot of inflections, similar to modern German, and many words were completely different from the ones we use today. However, some common words like strong, house, and water have survived largely unchanged. Key fact: only about 20% of Old English vocabulary survives in modern English, but many core words we use every day, like mother, father, and home, are rooted in Old English. During the 8th to 11th centuries, the Vikings from Scandinavia began raiding and eventually settling in parts of Britain. This had a significant impact on the English language. The Vikings spoke Old Norse, which was a Germanic language related to Old English. As a result, many Norse words merged into English. Words like sky, egg, window, knife, and even everyday pronouns like they and them come from Old Norse. The interaction between the Anglo-Saxons and the Vikings led to a simplification of English grammar, making it easier for the two groups to communicate. Key fact: the influence of Old Norse is one reason why English has so many synonyms. For instance, wish, Old English, and want, Old Norse, have similar meanings but different roots. One of the most transformative events in the history of English was the Norman Conquest of 1066. When William the Conqueror and his Norman forces invaded England, they brought with them the Old French language. For centuries, French became the language of the royal court, law, and the elite, while the common people continued to speak English. This period marked the transition to Middle English, where English absorbed a vast number of French words, especially in areas like law, art, fashion, and cuisine. Words like court, judge, government, beef, pork, and beauty are all derived from French. The blending of Old English and French created a richer vocabulary and simpler grammar, moving toward the English we recognize today. Key fact: nearly 30% of modern English words have French origins due to the influence of the Normans. By the 15th century, English was beginning to transform into early modern English, largely thanks to the Renaissance, which brought a renewed interest in literature, science, and the arts. During this time, scholars and writers like William Shakespeare and Christopher Marlowe expanded the English vocabulary by borrowing from Latin and Greek. The printing press, introduced to England by William Caxton in 1476, played a crucial role in standardizing English spelling and grammar. With books becoming more widely available, literacy rates increased, and people began to read the same version of the English language. Shakespeare alone is credited with coining over 1,700 words, including everyday terms like lonely, hurry, and majestic. This period also saw the introduction of new phrases and idioms that are still in use today, such as heart of gold and break the ice. Key fact: the King James Bible, published in 1611, was one of the most influential texts in shaping modern English. Its phrasing and vocabulary had a lasting impact on the language. With the rise of the British Empire in the 18th and 19th centuries, English began to spread across the globe. Colonization brought English to North America, India, Australia, Africa, and beyond, creating a multitude of English dialects. This period also introduced loan words from various languages, enriching English even further. For instance, words like pajamas, Hindi, coffee, Arabic, cookie, Dutch, and banjo, West African, became part of everyday English vocabulary. English has a unique ability to absorb and adapt words from other cultures, which is why it's considered one of the most diverse languages today. Key fact: English is now the third most spoken native language in the world, after Mandarin Chinese and Spanish, and is the most widely learned second language. Even today, the English language is constantly evolving. With the rise of the internet, social media, and globalization, new words and phrases are being created all the time. Technology has given us words like selfie, emoji, hashtag, and even slang like binge watch and ghosting. English is a living language, constantly changing to reflect the times. From the influence of pop culture to technological advancements, English continues to grow, adapt, and connect people all over the world. Key question: how do you think English will change in the next 50 years? Share your thoughts in the comments. What's your favorite English word and why? Or have you noticed how English has changed in your own lifetime? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's journey through the history of English, don't forget to subscribe for more English listening practice with fascinating topics.